Hello everyone, welcome to another Life in France technology review. Thank you for watching my channel. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and please post any comments or questions in the comments box below. Today we're going to be looking at the Sony NW-A105 Walkman. I've been using this now for a couple of years. I also want to tell you about my IEMs that I use as well on the move to listen to music that are out in the case here. But first we're going to talk about the Walkman. I've had this, like I say, for a couple of years now, and I use this as my standalone music player when I'm in the car and also when I'm working out in the gym, because I prefer to have a dedicated music device. I think it is better to have a dedicated music device than be using your phone as your music player, because I think the sound quality is better and all that, and I just think it's better to have a dedicated device for music playing. This Sony runs Android, and it runs the Android operating system. And I've got the Quobus music service built into it, so I can use that to stream my music. It does take an SD card. I've got a 512 gig micro SD card in here, and the port for that is on the front there. Whether you can see, yeah, it is on the front there, which is here where my finger is. Then you've got the USB-C port. Then you've got the headphone port here, so you can plug a standard jack headphones into this 3.5mm headphones. And as you can see, it's the SD card slot on the right side, and the USB-C slot, which is for charging and connecting to other devices here. It's good. It does run off USB-C. The only cons I can see with it, and things that I don't like, negative things, the battery life is shocking. The battery life, absolutely shocking. When you've got Wi-Fi on and you're streaming music, especially because I stream in high res and CD quality, the battery life is quite shocking. So if you're going to be using it on the move, you need to have it plugged into a USB-C power source all the time, like a portable USB battery, or when you're in your car, have it plugged into a USB charger in your car, because it won't last very long at all. And also, depending on the type of earphones or headphones that you're using as well. The other thing is the volume doesn't go very loud. Now, when it's on full volume, I just get enough volume just to my IEMs, my Shure IEMs, which I'll come to later. I just get enough volume to be able to hear it on the full volume out of them. Well, I put it on top volume because it seems the loudest, and the loudest volume I get the best out of them. So it just has enough power in it for that. But any more powerful headphones, it probably won't work with over-the-ear powerful headphones. You probably need it connected to a separate amplifier, headphone amplifier, on the move for it to be any good. So that's another crevice with it. The volume's not very loud. Like I say, I think I get about 8 hours battery life on a full charge when Wi-Fi is on, because what I do is I've got an iPhone 14 Pro Max, and I connect this Walkman via Wi-Fi, tether it to my phone via Wi-Fi when I'm out and about and I'm in the car. So using Wi-Fi also drains the battery as well. If you've got Wi-Fi switched off, Bluetooth switched off, and you have all your music files stored on the SD card and downloaded, the battery life will be longer. But like I say, using Bluetooth and Wi-Fi does really pan the battery. And you've got a lot of amplifier settings in here. This one. Oh dear. You've got Clear Audio Plus. You've got the equalizer, Clear Audio Plus. You've got a vinyl processing feature. Which recreates the warm, rich playback of a record on turntable, if you'd like that. You've got a dynamic normalizer, a DC phase linearizer, which makes low frequency response more like on an analog amplifier. DSE Ultimate you can have on as well. Reproduce the frequency responses to the dynamic range of the original sound source accurately using AI, artificial intelligence technology. You've got an equalizer setting, and you've, like I say, Clear Audio Plus. That's all your audio settings you've got. And you've also got a Walkman app built into this as well. So if you download your own files, I had a lot of trouble downloading my music files to actually work on the actual Walkman player itself on here. When I loaded them onto my SD card off of my MacBook, it didn't work very well. So I couldn't seem to do that to get it to. If anyone knows how to get it to work properly using a MacBook, please tell me. And as I say, I use the Quobuzz music streaming service as it's CD and high-res quality. As I say, it's Android based, this Walkman, so you can run any music streaming apps directly on the device, and that's what I'm doing. And because I'm on an unlimited data plan with my mobile network, which is Orange France here in France, because I'm based in France, I can use data unlimited, and my plan is totally unlimited data, so I can use as much as I want. There's no usage limits or anything like that, so I prefer to stream all my music as it's unlimited. So yeah, that's the main thing about the Walkman. Like I say, it's a very good device. It is very good. And on the side, you've got all the buttons as well for play, pause, volume up and down, switch to the next track, and you've also got the hold button. So when you enable the hold button, when it's in your pocket, it will stop any buttons accidentally being pressed. They won't cause any issues. You know, if you got it in your pocket and that the hold function is on, if you press a button accidentally, it won't affect any music being played back, which I think is a really good feature. Because sometimes I do press buttons by mistake when they're in my pocket. I try to get out of my pocket. Or you might rub up against something when it's in your pocket and it knocks a button as well. So there's that feature, which is really great. I've always liked Sony for doing that, putting these hold features on. Yeah, so that's basically the Walkman cut. And it's got a nice, beautiful, really detailed colour screen, which is really good. But as I say, you must, if you're going to use it a lot, either use a USB battery pack if you're going to be out and about walking around with it. Or if you're in your car, plug it into a USB power source all the time, because the battery will not last very long at all. Anyway, so with this I use these are Shure SE535 IEMs. I've been using these for quite a few years now, and the sound quality is fantastic. What I like about the SE535s is the sound is very natural, and they don't tend to over-emphasise any of the sound levels at all. They tend to keep the sound very natural sounding, which I like, very clear and natural sounding. And I use their yellow foam tips, because I find these are most comfortable to use with this. And this Walkman just has enough power and volume to run these perfectly without needing an external amplifier. That's another thing on the Walkman, it has got a lot more higher end audio components inside for higher sound quality as well. As I say, this model was released by Sony in 2019. It's one of the lowest priced signature series of Walkmans. There are two other models which are higher priced and slightly higher components, but I think this one's good enough for most people. So this is a really good Walkman. I got mine off Amazon France. It is available on Amazon. It's about €250. So, which I think is a bargain for this, really. And that was a couple of years ago I got it. But I've had no problems with it at all. It works perfectly. It's never cut out when I've been using it. It's always worked perfectly. I mean, most Sony products are really well made, and this is no different, really, to any Sony products I've used in the past. And the thing I like about the Shure SC535s is Shure make their products high quality as well. These basically feature 3 HD drivers per ear. So I'm getting 3 HD drivers per ear, so 6 in total, 3 per ear. And the sound, like I say, is very natural and very clear. And when you're listening to music, I listen to a lot of rock music, soft rock music, indie music, and when you're listening to that on these, it sounds like the artist is like playing in the same room as you, or you're at the front row of a gig, and the lead singer's sweat is dripping onto you. They sound that good. And as I say, with earphones and headphones, sound quality should be the number one factor over price. It should be sound quality you should be going for. And as I say, these work off a standard 3.5mm plug, which the Walkman has on the front there, the bottom there. The cable's also detachable on these SE535s, so it's very, very good. They're very good. So if you have any cable problems, you can just detach a cable and fit another cable. You can get another cable for about €20, a replacement cable, 20, €30 online, probably 20 to 30, £35 online. But if they're covered under warranty, they will replace the cable if you have any faults, if it's covered under warranty. With these, I actually got them off Bax Music France, so baxmusic.fr, and they actually threw in a 5-year guarantee on them, so I got a free 5-year guarantee with these. You normally only get 2 years with Shure, but they actually gave me a 5-year guarantee through the retailer with these, so which is really good. And they are also heavy. As I say, I use them in the gym a lot, and I get into some really heavy sweating workouts, and I use these in the gym listening to music, and they are designed to be heavy sweat resistant. But I will say the first pair of these I had, the right side actually failed after I used it in the gym. Actually cut out, one of the drivers cut out when they got wet with sweat. But I sent them off for the warranty and they replaced them, and they're all back working fine. And I've been using this pair in the gym since I've had them back, and I've had no problems and they got sweaty. What I do in the case is when they get sweaty is I put a couple of silica packets in the case, and silica is really good for drying things out. So if you ever get any wet headphones or wet earphones or headphones, put them in a case with a few silica sachets like I've done here, and seal it up and leave them for 24 hours, 48 hours, and then see what happens. These got really wet a few months ago in the gym when I was doing a workout, and the right side cut out again. So what I did when I finished, I put them in this case with a couple of silica sachets and left them for 48 hours, went to use them again. They work in perfect, sound was restored to normal. So I think this silica does really wonders to dry them out. But don't let that put you off their failing, because they will replace them under warranty if they get sweaty and stop working. But I just like the Shures because they have such a natural sound, a natural clear sound, and a lot of the other manufacturers of earphones and headphones, they tend to focus on one area of the sound, and sometimes they make them too bright or too bassy, or the low end doesn't have a lot in it. But these Shures are completely, all spectrums are fantastic. I mean, it'll make your music come to life. You hear things in your music you've never heard before with these. They are that good, that remarkable and that good. Yeah, as I say, I use the yellow foam tips with them. I find these the most comfortable ones. And I carry some spares around in the case as well, because they only last for a few wears. I mean, as you can see, they're already getting dirt on them and a bit of it. They do tend to pick up your earwax a lot as well. And after a few uses, they start losing their shape. So then when they start losing their shape, you've got to replace them with a new pair. So I've got about 30 spares of these, a few in the case here, and I've got a load more in the packet stored away in a cupboard as well. So I've got plenty of them. And you probably need to change them probably every 2 to 3, 4 months, I'd say, depending on your usage. So that's great. But yeah, anyone who wants a dedicated music player, as I say, I think they are the best way to go, dedicated music players. Better than using your phone. You'll get better sound from one of these than using your phone as well. I just think all in all, they're just fantastic, just absolutely fantastic to use. As I say, I use Quobuzz, which is CD and high-res music quality. I pay about €19.49 for that to be used on that, so which is really good. Really good. So you'll probably get about £13, £14, £15 a month in the UK, or you can go for a yearly subscription where you just pay it once a year. For Quobuzz, and that's spelled Q-O-B-U-S, sorry, Q-O-B-U-Z, so it's Q-O-B-U-Z, Quobuzz, it's called. I do know there is Tidal out there, but I just prefer using Quobuzz. I've always liked the interface of Quobuzz over Tidal and that, so that's just my personal preference, really. But as I say, I tether this Walkman to my iPhone 14 Pro Max, and I do love iPhones, I have to say. Even though this Walkman's Android, I don't get on with Android very well at all. I couldn't have Android as my main phone. I find Android too hard to use, too difficult to use, and I've had a lot of problems with Android. That's the only thing with this Walkman I will say is the Android system isn't the best. I have to say it's not the best, in my personal opinion, it's not the best. And I do love iOS, I love the iPhone. I wish you could get an iOS-based Sony Walkman, that would be fantastic. And another thing as well, I rate these Sony Walkmans over the Apple iPod. I personally wouldn't have an Apple iPod, even though I love Apple. I wouldn't have an Apple. That's the only thing I wouldn't have Apple is an iPod. I still think these Sony Walkmans are best for portable music listening. I mean, there are other brands of Walkmans out there, but I don't think you need to spend thousands of pounds on a music device, personally. They may have better components and all that, but I really don't see how you're going to notice much difference. But what you must do with these SE535s or any high-end, you must feed them high-quality music files. I can't emphasise, if you're not going to feed them high-quality music files, and I mean it needs to be at least CD minimum. You need to have at least CD quality files as a minimum. If you're not going to use anything lower than that, then it's not worth it. You might as well not bother with it, because you need to have everything the best to get the best out of them. They will show up poor quality recordings, these, quite easily. They will show that up. So that's just another bit of advice there. So I think I've covered everything now. I can't do a demonstration on the sound quality of these SE535s, but I will say if you can go to somewhere and try them out, you definitely need to try them out and get a free trial and try them out, because they are great. Like I say, I've been so impressed with them, and I've been using them for a number of years now. But please use, as I say, use CD and at least high-res quality music files if you're going to be using IEMs of this quality, because they will show up poor quality recordings. And plugging them into your phone's 3.5mm headphone output won't do them justice, plugging them into a phone. If you're going to be using your phone, although I don't recommend it, it's better to have a standalone device dedicated to music. You need to plug your phone into an external amplifier, then run these off an external amplifier, because you won't get the best out of them plugging them into your phone socket. They don't come with an inline microphone, the ones I've got here, so you can't. I think you can buy a cable with an inline mic, but these don't have that. So I prefer not to use that, because I think it does sacrifice the audio quality, having a built-in microphone on the wire. So I tend to avoid those really for music listening. But yeah, anyway, I hope I've covered everything. If there's any more questions, everyone, please post them in the comments below, and I'll try and respond to you as soon as I can. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. It's another Life in France technology review. Thank you very much.